Okay, yesterday it was confirmed that Israel Folau has lost his sponsorship deal with Asics. Now, Asics are the kit supplier for the Wallabies, and they're also Israel Folau's personal sponsor. He is a brand ambassador, which basically means adverts, his face is on it. Billboards, his face is on it. TV ads, his face is on it. Internet ads, you name it. Any advertising, he's showing off their boots, their kits, their jackets, their tracksuits, all that kind of stuff. Now, he's had Asics as a personal sponsor for quite some time, and he's made a lot of money out of the sponsorship deal. Now, Asics waited until the Code of Conduct hearing was completed. That took 3 excruciatingly unnecessary days. I'm going to do a video on Rugby Australia and the issues with Rugby Australia at a later date. More will come of this story. It's not just Israel Folau getting fired and losing a few sponsorship deals. More heads will roll. Hopefully riding castles, because she's proving herself inept for the job at hand and not up to the job, basically. Now, Asics, they were in a difficult position. Not only are they a personal sponsor of Israel Folau, but they also sponsored the Wallabies and Rugby Australia as a sponsor. So they had to cut their losses with one or the other. Had Israel Folau been found to be reinstated, they would also possibly question their position with Rugby Australia. So it was a catch-22, no-win situation for Asics. No-win situation. But they've also got to look at it from a business point of view. And the bigger contract is with Rugby Australia, not with Israel Folau. It's worth more money to, sponsor the whole team rather than one individual player. So yeah, Israel Folau is going to fill that in his pocket over the next few weeks. Jaguar Land Rover also pulled their sponsorship before the Code of Conduct hearing, and I found that kind of interesting because we've been down this road before with Ben Stokes with the assault allegations and New Balance pulling a £200,000 sponsorship deal from him, and Tiger Woods when it was revealed of all his extramarital affairs in his private life. A lot of sponsors walked away, including Gillette and Nike for a while. Nike got back with his, Tiger Woods, but Gillette have not. So Israel Folau is not the only high-profile athlete to lose a sponsorship deal. It happens. I've used 2 examples there, and there were reasons why. But Jaguar Land Rover, they're owned by Tata, which is an Indian company, and I could go into the hypocrisy of, India's only recently relaxed laws on gay relationships and being gay. It was actually illegal to be gay in India until last year. So, his first post was last year. India, it was at the time still illegal to be gay. So the hypocrisy of Jaguar Land Rover there. Qantas, same again. They've got an agreement with Brunei Airways as a sister airline on a code share. And again, Brunei's brought in anti-gay laws that have covered a lot of criticism in the last couple of weeks. Qantas have said, it's not within our code of ethics, to be not inclusive. So the hypocrisy from Qantas, that's, raised a few eyebrows from some. But the sponsorship deals are now, that's that. Other things are coming out from this. Michael Chaker has come out and said he's unlikely to play for Australia again, but Michael Chaker is under pressure because all his Polynesian players are threatening not to play at the World Cup. A lot of them have come out in support of Israel Folau, saying, we might not want to go to the World Cup if he's not reinstated. They might walk away from Australia also. Plus, other youth level players who are eligible to play for Australia now might consider switching allegiance to Tonga, Fiji and Samoa. So they could lose out on the production line of young players as well. So Michael Chaker's under pressure. If Australia have a shambolic World Cup, which looks highly likely right now with the build-up that's going into it, a lot of interest in Australia being crap because their best player has been fired, Michael Chaker could get fired himself. His job is actually resting on their World Cup campaign, which looks like it's going to be shambolic considering their best player has just been fired. Ryling Castle, the CEO of Rugby Australia, she's under a lot of criticism as well with her handling of the situation. Now, firstly, she's a Kiwi, which hasn't endeared her to all rugby union fans in Australia. Western Force recently got axed from Super Rugby. Now, they are still playing, but they're playing at a lower, a lesser competition. So they're still a team, but they're not in Super Rugby, and that was a big blow to a lot of people. And a lot of rugby union fans weren't happy with that. It actually costs less to keep Western Force going in Super Rugby than to fire or pay Israel Folau. So there are those that are going, well, why were Western Force axed when you can afford to pay Israel Folau stupid amounts of money? Could you not keep Western Force going? And there's that, the business model. And Rugby Australia have been found to be very reactive and badly run. The fact it took 3 days for the Code of Conduct hearing to be completed is laughable. Billy Vanapola had his meeting with the RFU and Saracens. It took less than half an hour. So there's that. And it was successfully concluded. Everyone came out happy and learning a lot more. You know, no harm, no foul. Vunipola was told about his code of conduct online. He accepts that. He actually came out and said, yep, okay, no, I completely understand that I might have overstepped the mark. I'm sorry. The RFU and Saracens were like, well, we know you're exceptionally religious. It's okay to be religious, but there are things you can post online and things you can't. And here's the list of things you can't. And we've ticked a few of them that you can't because you've just done that. And he apologised very, very quickly. And he actually, Billy Vunipola was actually, you know, really humble in his apology. There were some fans, however, that were really crappy towards him. There was an altercation with a fan, but that's that because that fan is a small-minded idiot. Now, the Israel Folau saga is going to rumble on. More heads will roll, but yes, he's lost his sponsorship deal with Asics. Now, I'm not fully immersed with how much the deal was worth, but it was worth a lot of money. Like, I could buy a couple of houses with the amount of money it was actually worth. So, yeah, it was a big deal. One of his biggest sponsors, but they're also one of the biggest sponsors of the Wallabies as well. So for them, it was a tough decision to make, and it was a no-win for Asics. However, while Israel Folau still is a divisive figure and will be those who will regularly criticise him for the rest of his days, Rugby Australia and Michael Chaker also do not come out of this smelling of roses. More heads are going to roll. Michael Chaker's under pressure because he could lose a lot of players, and Ryan Castle, she's under pressure because she's mishandled Rugby Australia for, well, her entire tenure. There's a reason why. There are money issues with rugby union in Australia. There's a reason why attendances aren't great, and there's a reason why the world rankings are not favourable to Australia, and they are slipping down them year on year. They're now at their lowest they've ever been, and you know, they're not the force they were 10 years ago. Australia are in deep trouble, and Australia could struggle at the World Cup. Now, this might unite the Australian squad, and they might do amazing things at the World Cup and have like a fairy tale run to the final again. Or they could have a shambolic World Cup and Michael Chaker's out of a job, and a lot of players don't get selected for Australia again. And with the Polynesian players of origin going, we might boycott Australia and refuse to play. That's another headache that Michael Chaker could do without. But there we go. Israel Folau has lost his sponsorship deal with Asics. Other heads will roll out of this. I think Rugby Australia needs a complete structural overhaul because it's not fit for purpose. Michael Chaker's under unnecessary pressure as coach, and yeah, Israel Folau has lost a payday. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below. I hope I've been as balanced as possible. I have got my views on the LGBT community and my views on religion. I'm in favour of both, so I'm a bit of a. I've got mates who are very, very religious. I've got mates who are part of the LGBT community, and I've got mates who are both. So work that one out, because that's a real toss up there, being religious and openly gay. But you know, I see this from the wider picture. The situation has been completely mishandled by all. I hope I've done it justice. Thank you very much for watching. If you have missed any of my other videos on this, they are in the Rugby Union playlist. So you can just type in Israel Folau, and there's a whole list of videos on this very subject of what's been going on for the last 12 months. And for now, goodbye.